Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of What If Civilization Started Over. This is not my original series, this is a fan series of Wixo based off of Vedas Bros series, and we are on episode 5 now. The last 4 episodes were a part of the first arc of this series, and that is none other than the Ancient Era. But now, in the last episode, we saw the invention of bronze over here in a new rebellious region of the Maroon Country, which is this light orangish kind of country over here. And with this new invention, we're going to see other regions gaining access to this material and using it to their advantage to expand or gain independence. And yeah, we're going to start off over in the Indian subcontinent because we need to do more over here because this area is kind of ignored by me, and I'll admit that. We're gonna head over to the tip of the continent, where, if you can remember, this area was isolationist from the rest of the Indian subcontinent, and we're gonna see that reflected here as this guy's gonna declare itself its own separate state, and on the religion layer, they're gonna even be of their own religion, entirely separate from the green religion up north. Speaking of, this is of the green religion, that little area in between it, as we're gonna see next, as we're gonna see the brown country claiming the rest of this land here. And yeah, the brown team is once again over expanding. They're probably cooked. You can't expand that much and expect to not get a whole bunch of countries wanting to kill you. Like the green team's been wanting to kill you, and all these three pretty much oppose you. So yeah, the only thing you got going for you is your land. Why not continue your expansion? The brown team feels trapped by the countries that appeared to their east, so they're just going to explore up into this area here, and their goal with this is to gain an area where they can continue to expand around these other guys. And at first it's gonna work, but of course you just expanded and your people don't like you expanding, so you're gonna be forced to stop in this kind of region here. Soon after this, we see this brown country here beginning to catch up because they don't want the brown Indian country to control all this land. They want to stop them because otherwise they would be cut off from expansion. These two down here are kind of ignoring that because, well, they have already been cut off from expansion and they're kind of sad about that. So, yeah, let's head over to Sri Lanka, another area in this region, and we can see that the minty kind of country has gone ahead and explored completely around Sri Lanka, and they're going to go ahead and claim the entire thing. And this also incorporates this to the religion map. So, yeah, Sri Lanka and the tip of India are now their completely own religion. And actually, I'm going to recolor this because I feel like two greens is one too many, and it'd be kind of ironic if I just colored it brown, which I think I'm gonna do. So yeah, we now have yet another religion here, but we have something to talk about, and that has to do with the green religion. The green religion is very vast, and it is of many very different people, and we're gonna see this thing breaking apart. The Indians feel very separate from the Greens, so they're just gonna change. They're gonna change some aspects that the Green religion had initially that make it kind of like the Green team as a country functions. So, yeah, we're gonna see the Green religion snapping in half, which may be reflecting what could possibly happen to these other religions, except maybe the Blue religion, because the Blue religion is pretty small at this point. But in this area, we do get to talk about this maroon country because they have been putting in a lot of work. First of all, in the British Isles, we can see that the maroon country has gone ahead and explored a large part of it. And as you can see, they've also discovered Ireland, which is a little telling of their water exploration in the region, as they have gone ahead and explored all the way over to Ireland. But they've also began to explore a lot more of this water in the North Sea, as they kind of see it as their dominion. They feel like they have full control over this region. But now we get to actually check up on the Marin team's expansion, where they're going to claim this chunk of England here, and they're going to go all the way down to Cornwall. From here, we can go over to the Danish region, where the Marin team will go ahead and expand into Denmark, but they're also going to take these islands, and yeah, we're going to see a very similar thing that happened in Britain, happening over here in Scandinavia, as Marin team forces, or explorers, not forces. I don't know why I said forces. We'll go ahead and explore this region, and they're going to set up two, I guess, colonies. One over here in Norway, and one over here in southern Sweden. This southern Swedish one is a lot more populated than the Norwegian one is. And yeah, the Marin team is feeling pretty confident in their expansion as of yet. We now get to head over to the pink team, which has done nothing. um, I've meant for them to do more, but yeah, we're gonna have to see more happening now. First of all, they will fully secure the Sea of Azov, as I just colored in, but they're also going to rapidly explore outward. This country is kind of falling behind, and that's not to the fault of their own, that's my fault. Because this guy was meant to do a lot more in the earlier episodes, and I just forgot my plans. Maybe I should write those down. But eventually, they're going to reach over here to the Kaliningrad kind of region, and they're going to say, yo, we want to expand all the way up here. And the people will question this, like, what, how on earth would that benefit us? And yeah, the pink team, they're just going to begin to rapidly expand. Um, I Once again, the people are not in favor of this. The pink team is kind of just forcing their people out, and it's gonna cause a lot of trouble internally for the pink team. But for now, they're gonna continue their expansion northward, and eventually they're gonna look something like this, and they're just gonna dart right on over to Kaliningrad here. Very quickly, we're gonna see Kaliningrad get set up as a major, I guess, city until, yeah, that was coming, and you're gonna get completely kicked out of this region. Soon after, we're also going to see them getting kicked out of this region. And then the exact same thing happens over here. Um, in this, if I can color it right, in this region over here on the eastern side of the Azov Sea. And yeah, things are not looking good for the pink team, except I don't like these borders, and I also don't like these colors. So allow me to change them. You get that color, and your border will expand southward. And I think that's actually all I needed to do. But yeah, with this, we're gonna see exploration of Europe rapidly speeding up. And first of all, we get to talk about the Alpine Mountains that I accidentally zoomed entirely into, because this eastern area has fully been explored, as well as most of the northern area, which hadn't really been, like, touched whatsoever. They knew about the south being hard to explore, but the north they didn't really care about because it's the Maroon team exploring. But yeah, the Maroon team, they're gonna explore that. And they're gonna explore it pretty easily. But now we're gonna see them working together with this banana kind of color country, and they're gonna link up the coastlines of northern Europe. From here, Poland is pretty easy to explore. It's pretty flat, and that's when you get to the Carpathian Mountains, and then you can kind of just do that, and it's easier to explore. Eventually, these mountains will also be explored. So all this European area just got explored in a very short amount of time. And yeah, we're gonna see this happening up north as well, as we see this banana country once again carrying the exploration, as they're gonna go ahead and explore all the way up to Estonia. As well as this island will be discovered not by them but by the Maroon team, and we're gonna see a lot, and I mean a lot, of the Baltic Sea being explored here. It gets so much to where the entire Gulf of Finland has been explored, and Åland has been discovered. I think it's Åland. I might be wrong. But yeah, this is the current map of what is explored in Europe. But that's not really all, because then we gotta account for the Caucasian Mountains over here, which are kind of fully explored at this point, yet no one really cares to claim much of it as of yet. But we're just going to color this in white, as we're going to see a lot of these countries now beginning to expand into it, or particularly this new dark bluish kind of country that formed, as well as, you guessed it, the red team. And the red team, they're a little slower because, of course, they are absolutely ginormous. But yeah, they're going to be expanding into this. And so will the orange country, who will kind of just take Azerbaijan and call it a day. And I guess that's a strategy, but like that's not really doing you any wonders because your goals are kind of over this way. So yeah. Anyways, back over to this region, we're gonna see most of the sub-Caucasian area being fully claimed by the red team, as they're going to go ahead and claim all this land up to here. And I'm going to change this border a teensy bit to where it looks like that. And I think this border looks pretty good for now. We'll come back to that area later. But for now, we're going back to Europe, where this area needs to be claimed. First of all, this banana country, they're going to be claiming all of the Polish coast, as well as a lot of this Latvian area here. And they're just going to begin to expand downward. And yeah, this thing is already ginormous, but nobody really cares. This weird yellow, weird country will explore once again, expand into this area as well, but they don't really care about this area nearly as much, so they're not going to be as intent on doing so. From here, we head over to this pink country, the light pink country, where they're going to see an offshoot of them happening. They didn't want to expand into the Carpathian area, that's right this time, so we kind of just see an area of them breaking off and doing exactly that. And they're gonna become pretty large, about as large as the light pink country. But somebody's pretty mad about this country existing, and they kind of blame it on the light pink country. If you don't get what I'm saying, the Bulgarian country is mad at these guys. And yeah, from here we get to talk about Dalmatia, who will go ahead and expand northward once again. These guys are pretty expansionist as of since they gained their independence. And yeah, at this point, we're going to see yet another weird offshoot kind of country forming, and this time it will be in this region here, as it will kind of just begin to expand, and it's very underpopulated, but nobody really cares about stopping it from expansion because, well, once again, nobody really is in most of the area they're expanding into, and yeah. From here, we're going to see the light yellow banana-ish country once again expanding southward, and they're going to meet the border of this light blue country, and they're going to take all this land here. From here, the light blue country will claim all this land over here in the east. They're also going to expand even more westward. But at this point, yeah, it's become a lot harder for this thing to do anything. We're going to see their southern chunk breaking away. Following this, we're going to see them dividing into two, with the eastern chunk taking this color and the western chunk keeping the original color. So with this, Eastern Europe's looking a lot more colorful, but I do not like the borders, so I'm probably going to redraw new borders sometime soon. I don't know when, but that's going to be happening. Heading over to the German area, we're going to see this country that is in Poland. They're going to go ahead and claim this area up here, as well as this island. And the Maroon country will meet their border over here, taking the rest of this land. And at this point, a lot of Europe has been claimed just in this episode. And we're going to see a break happening from this because we need to go ahead and talk about this little bubble in Arabia, and we're just gonna see the red team doing that. And that is a problem because not only does it make them the largest country in the world, I think they might have already been. Yeah, they were. But it also makes them really unstable because none of this area wants to be a part of you. And we're gonna see this firsthand over here in Anatolia, where this yellow country will be waging war against the red country, and they're gonna be doing some damage. And On the first few days of the war, the yellow team will see complete advantage and they will take a lot of coastline over here. Soon after, we see them taking this more inner area, and eventually we're going to see the red team laying down arms because, ironically, they cannot defeat this yellow country. But soon after this, we're going to see this blue country doing the exact same thing, and they're going to be expanding into this area here. Unfortunately for them, they won't be able to conquer any coastline areas, but they will be able to expand outwards, and this will do them wonders, as now they have a lot more security over here, and also over here they're going to expand on that a little. But yeah, from here we're going to see the kind of complete collapse of the red team in Anatolia, as well, first of all, the area they just invade invaded will kind of just leave. This area will just say adios, and the red team can't really care because if they did, they'd be waging a losing war, and they don't want to be doing that. So they kind of just have to let this thing go without like any of their own preferences on this country. Like they don't get to choose the borders or whatnot. And yeah, this thing will see a lot of success in setting up. And from here, we're going to see this yellow country taking even more land. Um, Greedy much, but no, just kidding, because the red team is the true hog here. Now we have 4 Anatolian countries, and I'm gonna change your color a teensy bit so you're a little more visible against this guy. I think that's better. But now we have 4 Anatolian countries. I think that's better. But now we get to head elsewhere to Oman, where this area will be breaking away, and they will be forming their own country. And this is a color I'm surprised I haven't used yet, but we're going to see the Omanis breaking away using this color here. And for now, this thing will kind of remain in rebellion against the red team, but it's also going to kind of be established. So it's still a little weird, but yeah. And guess who's going to be joining up on this? Of course, the blue team is going to be joining up on this. And it's going to be a very similar case here, where the blue team kind of just has occupied land, but the red team isn't really capable of fighting them off right now. They're kind of just standing still because they don't know exactly what they want to do. From here, we can go ahead on over to this. I almost called it maroon, this like dark pink Moroccan country, because they're going to be exploring a lot. And that's not it, because they're going to be exploring all the way down here. Oh, we're not done. All the way down to Guinea-Bissau, which is very, very far. And this has been going on. This has been going on for a very long time. And yeah, similar things are happening in Asia right now that we're probably going to talk about either later in this episode or in the next one. But yeah, there's a lot happening across the world right now. None of this is happening all at once. All that is really basically known is that this has been happening since the pinkish, dark pink country formed. Ever since the brown country in India was formed, they've been exploring into Southeast Asia, and we're going to be talking about that later. Maybe not in this episode, but later. Anyways, back to this. We're going to see that once again, the Moroccans have been massively exploring, but they've also been massively expanding because now they look like this. And that makes them, I believe, the largest country in Africa. They might still be beat out by the blue team, but I have no idea. But they're also going to go ahead and claim these islands over here, which aren't fully explored around, but they have been for quite a while, actually. It just hasn't been updated, so you could see that. But yeah, once again, back to water exploration. Um, yeah, we see that the Moroccans have been doing quite a bit towards this, and I think that's the only area that was lacking in water exploration. But now, lacking in land exploration, we can head on over to the Horn of Africa, where this thing has begun its exploration, and no one is really like intent on taking this over. But we're going to go ahead and see this Sudanese country expanding, and that's going to make some people mad. So these people were kind of just going to leave, and they're going to go ahead and set up a country over here in the Horn of Africa. Anyways, now we are down in Africa, and we can head on over to Asia, where we're going to go ahead and begin the beginning of the exploration into Southeast Asia. These guys have been exploring quite a bit, and they're going to make their way over to Burma, where the first new country will be established. This new country will be of this light-ish green color, and they're going to do pretty much nothing. And that's where we're going to stop for this episode because we're going to resume there in the next episode. And really quickly, I need to outline the coastline here. And yeah, that's going to do it for today's episode. And I feel like I've been recording this for a while. Um, I cannot tell. Oh no, it's only 21 minutes. I feel like I've been recording this forever because so much happened. But no, I guess that's not the case. But yeah, either way, this is the end of the episode, and I will see you all in the next one. But before I go, make sure you follow me on Twitch. I stream there pretty often. Also stream here on YouTube through YouTube Shorts, but it only gives you the vertical form content, so it's probably not ideal to watch. So I prefer Twitch streaming, but I stream YouTube Shorts anyways. I stream games like Minecraft, Terraria, and Roblox, and I stream very like inconsistently. So I might stream one day and then stream like 5 days of the next week and then take a break. Either way, it doesn't matter. Follow me. And if you watched all the way through this video, you might as well subscribe. This is also part of a series. So if you haven't seen the first few episodes, I recommend you go back and watch them because eventually this thing's going to be like full blown, and it's going to have a full story. It's going to have a whole bunch of eras that will need to be explained, and you're going to basically want to know how this map looks like this. So if you haven't seen those episodes, make sure you watch them because this age is going to be vastly different from the last one because exploration will become more of a rapid thing rather than a inconsistent thing that has kind of just been going on. Of course, now we're going to see this exploration ramping up. Anyways, once again, that's going to do it for this video, and I will see you all in the next one.